Well, hello. Welcome to another program of Older But Wiser. Lorraine, I don't know how you did it, but we got a guest today that aroused the whole city hall because he was so famous in his day. We have with us Johnny Pesky from the Boston Red Sox is with us today. And what a pleasure this is. You know, I was telling you earlier that more people came down to see you and visit this studio because you were here.
You got to be kidding.
Than anybody else.
I thought I scared everybody away.
No. and we've been doing this for 8 years. And,
really?
And
well, you're very. You're
what a pleasure it is to have you.
Well, thank you.
And we can remember as young people watching you play baseball at Fenway Park.
Yeah, well, you're probably my vintage. You have gray hair, and I got gray hair.
So no, I'm more your vintage.
Yeah, no. But no, I'm very flattered that you did the ball club. Little girl that handles all the PR work over there. Yeah, she's a lovely little girl, and she has these assignments. And you could have really got a better guy to come here, you know, a guy that was real vivacious. And you got Jim Rice, who's should be in the Hall of Fame, and Louis Tion, who's really something. Yes, he is something.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you knew Sammy Gentile.
Oh yeah, I played with him at Rocky Mount, North Carolina in 1940. And that's how old we are.
Yeah, you even knew his mother, the whole family.
Oh yeah, she was a wonderful lady. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I used to spend some time over there when I first came to, especially when I was playing in Boston, because I knew Sammy, and then of course then the war came on and kind of, you know, everybody went all over the place, and you know you had to serve your time and all this, and I was very fortunate. I found a wife in the Navy, and it's been good. I've lived here in the Boston area, in Lynn, the North Shore area, most of my life.
Yeah.
Since I've gotten older, and I am old.
But a lot of people that watch this program are old, and the Older But Wiser is the name of our program.
Well,
so they'll be
that's
so
very
happy.
Kind. Yeah, that's
they'll be happy to see you here.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. As a guy said, I'm very happy to be anywhere.
Yeah.
But no, it's, you know, when you get to our age, you know, we're losing so many of our people. It's sad, you know.
Yes.
And you don't expect it. And just like I was telling you earlier about Sammy Gentile. A very dear man, and we got along so well, and he had that Boston accent, and of course we got guys from the South, the West, and the East, and the North, and they got a kick out of Sammy with that Boston accent.
Yeah.
And he was and a good hitter. He was a very good hitter.
Yes.
And he had a nickname for everybody. He had 10 different nicknames for players on the team, and you know he was so gregarious, if that's the word. But he was so outgoing and very likable, you know, and I don't think he ever said a bad word about anybody.
And you were telling us earlier that the Red Sox really honor the old members of the club.
And, the new owners.
Yes,
the new owners give you a lot of attention.
Oh yeah, well they were very good. There's a lot of us there. Tion, of course, was a very popular figure here, and Dwight Evans I was here as a player and managed and coached, and Louis Tion, of course, who was very popular in town, and a wonderful, wonderful man, and Frank Malzone, the third baseman, and he's a kid out of New York, but he joined the Red Sox many, many years ago, and he's always been one of our instructors in the system in the organization, and just a lovely man, and it was a very good player. He was a third baseman. He got all those gold gloves before Brooks Robinson. If you follow baseball, Brooks Robinson was the great third baseman of all time. But Malzone was awfully good, and very, very good. And he was very quiet, and had a wonderful family, and
Dom DiMaggio was very famous.
Yeah, Dominic, of course, he's in that famous family out of San Francisco, and he was a great player here. And his brother Joe, of course, was a great player.
Oh, he was great.
And there was another brother, Vincent, that played with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So,
do you ever go out there and bat a few balls now at this age?
No, I'm too old. I'm too old.
You don't try to hit Pesky's ball?
No, that's a mistake. Mel Parnell started that business, and you know, he went back. He was broadcasting with Coleman and Martin, and someone hit a ball down there. I was managing in the organization. I think I was in AA somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I was coming. Yeah. Anyway,
you were managing when Yaz Yastrzemski.
Oh yeah, I was Yaz had. Yastrzemski was as good a player that's ever played this game.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put him in the
Better
class.
than Ted?
Well, I wouldn't say he was better than Ted, but he did a lot of things better than Ted. He ran better, and he threw better. But Ted could hit a ball a ton. He hit a ball over 500 feet.
He was a shy man, wasn't he?
Who?
Ted.
Shy? He was very outgoing.
Really?
Oh, sure. He'd have liked you.
Didn't-
He'd have been all over you like a cold sweat. No, he was quite a man. He was very bright. He and Bobby Dorr and Dom and me. I was the last of those guys, and I might say this: I'm the youngest of them, and I'm not too far removed from them in age. But we all hit it off when we came to Boston, and then, of course, when we went into the service, then we came back. We even got closer. Dominic DiMaggio is one of those people that's a fine man. He has a great talent for friendship, and a very wonderful man. He has done very, very well in business. He was a fine player. He's got that golden name, DiMaggio, and he loves Bobby Dorr and Ted. And of course, I was the last of the group, and I horned in there pretty good. And he called. He's the guy. He calls us all, and of course, we lost Ted a couple of years ago, and Dom and I drove down to see him. And he was pretty sick, and then he died the next year. And it was just so sad. He was a very strong.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed to say the only baseball game I ever went to at Benway, other than over at City of Palms in Fort Myers, was the night that Walt Dropo, and I believe you, someone else came back to play against the Red Sox after that big trade.
Oh, that was after the
My
trade,
husband and I went there.
Yeah, well,
I think it was 52.
We didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, I think from that trade, Dominic decided to retire.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Now I noticed that. Can I look at that ring? Oh, look at that.
There it is. I waited 60 years to see that.
Would you believe
to
that?
get it?
Isn't that wonderful?
And the new owners, see, it has my name over here, and it's got the trophy, and it's got the biggest upset in Major League history, because see, we were down to the last out.
I know.
And then we won, and we beat the Yankees 4 in a row. They beat us 3 in a row, and then we turned around and beat them 4.
Oh, that's
and then
amazing.
then we played Anaheim, and we beat them 4, and then of course we played the Cardinals, and we beat them.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And you were there to see the whole thing.
Yeah. I got soaked with everything.
You lived to talk about.
Did you get a little bit of champagne on your face?
Oh my God, Listen, it was great. I even caught a cold from it. I got.
What an honor! Finally,
the funny thing, there was so much happiness. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I never saw so many grown men cry, because it meant so much. There were a lot of us that were there for the first time on a championship team. We played in series, but we never got the golden fleece, as they say. But it was so much. Oh boy, it's hard to talk about that. I know I ran into Schilling. Schilling picked me up, and I thought he was going to break my neck. You know, I said, "Put me down."
He seems like a nice man.
Oh, he is. He's a wonderful man.
Yeah.
And then I come around, and then the guy that was really, there was so much tear shedded in that clubhouse. And after Schilling put me down, of course, going around, we're hugging one another and telling how great we were and all this. And I run into Ronnie Jackson. And he was crying, so he was actually sobbing. He was so happy, and then he was crying. I started to cry, and the guy over here started. We looked like children, you know.
It was such a wonderful.
It was
such a
because we
wonderful
waited.
time.
What a celebration!
Oh yeah, it was.
You think it'll be this year?